So today we are going to start with, last time we discussed about 3-point estimates for the different distribution like triangular distribution, beta distribution, and standard deviation of activity. So today we are going to discuss and have a question on this scenario. So the scenario is your team is estimating the duration of a critical work package because uncertainty is high. The team provides 3 estimates. Using these estimates to determine the realistic PERT duration and intercept what result means. Identify the 3 estimates: optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic. Calculate the PERT expected duration. Compare uh, expected expected duration or expected time with the most likely estimate. Choose the best interpretation of the result. So, which is the correct answer? Okay. So given estimate are 6 days optimistic, 10 days most likely, and 22 days most optimistic, like pessimistic.
Yes.
Longer worst case, this is high probability, most likely we're realistic, and this 6 days is shorter and best case. So here, first they are asking, identify the 3 estimate: optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic. Okay, now calculate the PERT expected duration. So what is the expected duration formula? We'll go back. The expected duration formula is this one: optimistic plus pessimistic plus most likely plus pessimistic divided by 3.
Plus pessimistic divided by 3.
So now if you are calculating, let me open the calculator. Let us calculate here. So 6 plus optimistic plus most likely plus pessimistic divided by 3. So the answer is 25. Answer is 25.
Okay. But total divided by 3, right? No.
Yes.
Plus
Again,
10 plus 22. Okay,
6
okay.
plus 10
Got it.
plus
Okay.
22 divided by 3. So
38.
25.
Okay.
So, okay. Okay, fine. This is simple.
Yeah.
Calculate the PERT expected duration. But here the answer is 11.3 days.
Yeah, that's why, sir. Because 6 plus 10 plus 22, it means 32. 32 plus 6, 38.
No,
Coming.
6.
Then 38 divided by 11.3.
6
6
plus 10
plus
plus
10.
22.
Yes, equal.
38.
38 divided by 3.
So it's coming 12.6.
Oh. Yes. 6 plus 10 plus 22. Correct only, no? Then why?
Optimistic plus most. Okay, let me try this formula. Beta distribution. Optimistic plus most. Okay. Six plus 4 times the 40
4 into 10,
plus
yeah.
22
Plus 22.
divided by 6. Yeah. So this is the formula.
Beta.
So they are doing beta distribution. Why they are doing beta distribution? Why they are doing a beta distribution? Do you know the answer? Compare TE with most likely estimate. Choose the best interpretation of the result. Use 11.3 days because PERT give extra weight to most likely, but is pulled by the pessimistic estimate. So why we are calculating here TE with most like compare TE with most likely estimate. Compare TE with most likely estimate. So most likely estimate is, what is the most likely estimate? This one, TE. You can see here. Used in, this is most likely TE. This is TE, right?
Yeah.
Right. So TE
Yes,
is PERT estimate. TM is most likely. So the question
Yeah.
is compare TE with most likely estimates. So TE is giving us 11.3, right? But TM is
Yeah,
giving us 12.6, right?
12.6. Yes.
So we will use TE because TE, the formula for TE is beta distribution.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
we are not calculating standard deviation. TE, the beta distribution we are talking about from the traditional PERT
Okay.
technique, not the triangle distribution.
Mm,
So
mm,
that's why we use this formula, because we want to compare this with most likely, with the most likely estimate. So we
mm.
are not using most
Okay.
likely, we are comparing TE.
Mm,
Use 11.3 days because PERT give extra weight to most likely, but is pulled by the pessimistic estimate.
yes.
Okay. Here the weightage, because it is 4 times multiplied by most likely.
Mm,
Okay. Next is parametric estimation, formula based. So what is
okay.
parametric estimation? Use an algorithm based on historical data plus parameters to estimate cost per duration
Mm,
based on statistical relationship, cost, cost per square meter, house per unit, hours per unit. So duration is quantity into labor hours per unit. So if you want to install
okay.
1000 meters, so
Mm,
the labor hours are 25 meter per hour. So
okay.
quantity multiply by labor hours per unit. So
Mm,
labor hours per unit 25 multiplied by 1000. So install 1000 meter. Example, install 1000 meter at 25. Let us calculate in this way.
mm,
1000 multiplied by 25. It's 25,000. But again, quantity
mm.
is 1000 meters. Okay. Labor
Okay.
labor hours per unit. So labor hours
Mm,
per unit is 25 divided by 1000, I think. No. If their labor hours per unit is 25 minute per hour, 25
mm,
meter per hour. So if they are calculating, they are doing the work 25 meter in 1 hour. So how
mm.
much time it will take for 1000 hours, 1000 meter? So 25, 1000 divided by 25. Yes. So it is actually quantity divided by total quantity divided by labor, the total quantity divided by productivity.
Mm.
Okay, so the formula
Okay.
in the planning we are using, productivity is equal to quantity divided by duration. Okay,
Mm.
so
Okay.
quantity divided by duration, productivity is equal to quantity divided by duration. So it takes 40 hours, 40 hours is the
Mm.
productivity to complete 1000 meter of work. So this
Okay.
is called parametric estimation, which is formula based. Relative size
Mm.
estimation and estimation techniques. Why it is okay. So relative size estimation technique is estimating tasks by comparing them to each other. So we are just making comparison. Use abstract units, story units, like t-shirt sizes or Fibonacci numbers. Focus on efforts,
Mm.
complexity, and certainty. Why it
Okay.
works? Human compare better than they estimate in absolute terms. Reduces our precision on an uncertain task. Encourage team alignment
Mm.
and shared understanding. So here the example is like X large t-shirt, one sprint.
Mm.
Then we are using another 1 to 2 sprint for the small size. Then we are using 3 to 4 sprints for medium,
Prince.
for large 4 to 6, and for extra large we are using 6 to 8 sprints. So
Mm.
if adding a login page 3 points, then building a dashboard might be 8 points. Not because it takes 8 hours, but because it is roughly 2.5 times more complex. Planning poker
Okay.
team votes independently, then discusses t-shirts. What do you get from
Mm.
this?
Uh, Based on
Because we
the
are doing
sprints,
pro rata, or we are doing some relative estimation. right?
Mm. Yeah.
So this is just,
Yes, sir.
relative size estimation. This is just a relative size
Mm.
estimation. Just give me 1 minute, one
Okay.
minute.
Yeah, yeah, okay, sir.
Yes.
Mm.
So let us go to the next slide. Factors affecting the duration estimates.
Okay.
Duration estimate. What are the factors that are affecting the duration estimate? Like primary influencing factors, like fixed duration, fixed efforts, fixed resources, and then progressive elaboration. Estimate improve as more detailed information becomes available. Accuracy increases during later design and engineering stages. Key consideration: number of resources. Some work has fixed duration.
Mm.
Input usually come from the most knowledgeable team members. An additional factor like law of diminishing returns, learning curves, and coordination, overhead, technology advancement, level of decomposition, cognitive biases, planning fallacy, and optimism bias. So this is all, there that are affecting the duration. What we have calculated so far, like in PERT
Mm.
estimation, we calculated the optimistic,
Mm.
we calculated the PERT estimate as
Per estimate.
PERT estimate and the most likely estimate.
Mm.
So this is the possible durations, possible estimate for the duration. But how these duration are being affected, based on what factors? So these are the factors which
These
affect
are the
those duration
factors.
estimates. Okay, we calculated it. We make some calculations, but these
Mm.
factor will affect these calculations. Like we have some risk or uncertainty in our schedule. Maybe the
Mm.
logic is not correct in our schedule. Maybe we have some accuracy or changes in the design or
Mm.
engineering stage, or we have, like, resources are not fixed or work is not fixed, durations are not fixed. So that will affect the estimated duration, which we calculated based on per calculation.
Okay.
Steps for developing the schedule. So how we actually develop a schedule? We review we we review the draft schedule. We validate and logically the durations and resource assignment based on the formula. Like we calculate productivity based on the quantities. So it is a simple formula: productivity is equal to quantity divided by duration. So if we take the duration on the other side, so it is duration is equal to productivity divided by quantity. So this is how
Okay.
we reach to the duration in our schedule. And we should also fix the start and finish date based on the logics, like which particular logic we are using. We are using finish to start link, or we are using start to start or finish to finish. So this is how we baseline our schedule. Okay, and we know our fixed
Okay.
constraint, and we know our milestones. What are our contractual milestones? What should be the project start date? What should be the project end date?
Mm.
And what are our milestones in our program? That is,
Mm.
we have different milestones in our project. So that is also being considered in developing a schedule, timeline schedule.
Okay.
The approved timeline reference is based on the approved version of the schedule model that can be changed only through a formal change control. So, okay, if we have a baseline program and it is approved, so it is
Mm.
actually a contractual document. But how we can change those dates in the baseline program when we have a variation order? If we have a variation order and that
Mm.
variation order is approved based on extension of time submissions, and it is reviewed by the
Mm.
consultant and then
Mm.
recommended to the client based on methodologies of, time impact analysis,
Mm.
or window analysis,
Mm.
time slice analysis. So after that formal change control, then that schedule can change. Okay,
Mm.
otherwise
Okay.
it cannot be changed. So it has to go through a formal change control.
Mm.
Milestone list. So there is a milestone list also, where we have mandatory milestones and we have optional milestones. Like mandatory are the ones which is a contractual requirement, but options are
Okay.
those which we use for just for tracking purpose. Okay, and
Mm.
milestones in a program have zero durations, and they just represent a start date or a finish date. If we have a start milestones, it will represent the start date, and if we have a finish milestone, it will represent the finish date. Project schedule
Mm.
also gives us the definition of the plan dates, durations, milestones, and resources. So the detailed schedule should remain flexible. It should be updated on based on weekly basis, monthly basis, and it should be properly approved. The progress percentages should be properly approved, and
Okay.
there should be an updated plans and updated programs. You know, so it does not mean once we have a fixed baseline program, it does not mean that these dates are fixed. It can change because based on the actual in the site and actual progress in the project, the dates will keep on changing every week, because once we are scheduling the program,
Mm.
it will give us new forecasted dates. Monitor and control the schedule. How we are going to monitor
Okay.
and control the schedule? Okay, we the
Okay.
project is being monitored based on actual progress updates, where
Mm.
we are submitting weekly reports and monthly reports.
Mm.
Also, the schedule is being monitored, and we have progress meetings where we usually see the comparison of where we are in plan percentages, where we are in actual percentages, and also how where we are in the physical progress of the project, and where we are in the earned value of the project. So this is how we monitor and control the project, and we have milestones. We discuss these. We have a discussions on these particular schedule and variances in the progress meetings, and it is properly reported to the client and consultant
Mm.
on weekly basis and monthly basis. So this is how we monitor and control the schedule. If there is some changes, we go through the approved process control change in the project. And also, if we are finishing some milestones, so we are also completing our deliverables to the project. So this is how we monitor and control the project. This applies to
Okay.
the predictive and adaptive style, but in the predictive, the traditional method where we plan ahead. But in adaptive and agile approach, there is sprints, and after every sprint, we discuss our progress. Okay, so either we
Okay.
have to move to the next phase or not. So in
Mm.
agile, it is different. In agile, in each at the end of each sprint, we closely monitor the sprint, and the sprint master usually decide whether to go for the next sprint, or we should stop here
Mm.
for the new release.
Okay. Okay.
Stakeholder engagement plan. It can be
Mm.
formal and it can be informal, and we should specify in our stakeholder management plan the communications and what are our
Mm.
strategies and how the different stakeholder influences on the project. We should know which
Okay.
stakeholder is has more influence and which particular stakeholder is more important. So there should
Mm.
be the engagement plan should be, we should have a proper communication plan, we should have a proper communication metrics on the project, where it should be formally and properly monitored and should be properly followed in the project as a stakeholder engagement plan. Plan
Okay.
communications. So how we do the communications, we should identify the stakeholders, what are their needs for the communication. We analyze the information, and we prioritize our stakeholder. As I said, we should prioritize our stakeholder, and we should
Mm.
have a proper channels how we are communicating by email. We have meetings. So what where we are how we are minuting our meetings, and we establish communication frequency and formats as well. So we should know how
Okay.
we are properly communicating with
Mm.
our stakeholders in a as a
Okay.
plan, as a communication management plan.
Mm.
So there is inputs, tools, and techniques, and outputs to plan communication management plan. Like, what are the inputs to the plan communication management? So how we plan our communications. So what are the
Mm.
inputs? The project charter, the project management plan, resource management plan, stakeholder engagement plan, the project documents, the enterprise environmental factors,
Okay.
EEF, and OPAS, organization process assets.
Mm.
Those are the
Mm.
inputs to the plan communication. And what are the
Okay.
tools and techniques? Which tools and techniques we are using? We are using expert judgments. We are
Mm.
using communication requirement analysis. We are using communication tech models and methods. Also, data representation and meetings. So those
Mm.
are the tools and techniques for our plan communications
Mm.
management. And what are the outputs? We will have a proper communication management plan or project management plan. We will properly update it. We have a stakeholder engagement plan. Then we can
Mm.
have a project document updates. The updates are the weekly reports, the weekly presentations, the monthly reports. And then we can update the schedule as well based on this
Okay.
plan communications management in terms of inputs,
Okay.
tools and techniques, and these are
Mm.
our outputs.
Okay.
Cultural awareness. As a tool and technique, we should know
Mm.
about the cultural awareness. How much biodiverse is our team? Okay, we
Mm.
should know the differences, understand the differences across the culture, across the organization, across the groups, reduce
Okay.
misunderstanding and strengthen teamwork, stakeholders. So if our environment in the organization is multicultural, so
Mm.
it will reduce the misunderstanding, and it will strengthen the teamwork, and stakeholder relationships will be good. So for that reason, we have to adopt communication style, the tone, the formality, the channel, the timing, and it should also plan communication should also be based on stakeholder and team cultural needs. So culture
Okay.
sensitivity help the project manager communicate effectively within the stakeholder community. Okay, this is right,
Mm.
because if we
Yeah.
have a proper culture sensitivity is there, so it
Mm.
will help the project manager to communicate. And if we have a project proper communication management plan, it will help us to communicate within the different cultures.
Yes.
Usually in communications, they also say which type of formal communication you should be using, like English or maybe Arabic, and
Mm.
what should be the style of the communication, what should be the communication distribution metrics. So these are all part of the communication management plan. Communication
Okay.
artifacts. We start from number one, notice boards. This is how we
Mm.
communicate. We have presentations, focus groups, team briefing, group meetings, email and intranets, letters to the staff, magazines, newsletters, and phone communications, and annual reports. So these are all communication artifacts in the project.
Yeah.
Then major form of communication: interpersonal communication, small group communication, public communication, mass communication, and networking and socializing type of communication. So
Mm.
there is difference between all these three, five of them. Interpersonal communication, this is how we engage often face to face with
With
each other.
engagement.
In a
Yes.
small
Mm.
group, we have 3 to 4, 5 people. We communicate with each
Mm.
other in small groups. And in public communication, it is like, we a large audience, like, the public boards, the notice boards, or the
Yeah.
presentations. We are
Mm.
speaking publicly. In mass
Mm.
communication, minimal communication between sender and large, sometime announce or deal. So it is like a mass communication. We are like a media, like a media type of reports or media videos. We can say as a mass
Okay. Like
communication.
newsletters. Mm.
Networking and social, like, we are using different platform like LinkedIn for official,
Mm.
for networking. Nowadays we are
Mm.
using LinkedIn. Communication model.
Okay.
Communication model. This is a communication model. There is a sender who send message through
Mm.
proper channel, okay,
Okay.
and then the
Mm.
receiver decode that message, okay, and then give us
Mm.
feedback and response or understanding to same sender. So this is how the
Mm.
communication model is:
Yes.
the encoder and then the decoder, and then again feedback.
Mm. Mm.
And nothing here. Actually, the feedback, encoder and decoder is there.
Yeah.
This is was also part of the, this communication model was also part of the
Communication.
PMBOK
Mm.
7th edition.
Okay.
Cross-culture communication challenge. So we have challenges across cross culture, like based on nationality, age,
Mm.
profession, social
Mm.
factors, working methods, communication styles, norms. What are our norms? What are
Mm.
our ethics? So this is how we understand, understanding can be harder due to differences in these styles, age,
Okay.
nationality, profession, social factors. So there are differences, between different cultures. So, and we have to have a proper communication model or proper communication plan
Mm.
to 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 overcome these challenges.
Okay.
Communication requirement style. So, an analytical technique to identify the information need of project stakeholders, like interviews, workshops, lesson learned, and
Mm.
other information gathering. What
Mm.
it produce clear requirement by combining type plus format of information needed, value information of that information. Let's say, for example, our communication style is n into n minus 1 divided by 2.
Mm.
So n is the number of team members. Okay. So
Okay.
if we have 5 team members, so what will be our
Mm.
communication channel? Can you calculate?
Yes, of course. 1 second. 10.
10. Yes, so our communication channel should be 10.
Yeah.
So team member one, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Mm.
There can be one-to-one communication.
Mm.
There can be cross communication. There can be
Ah.
again a direct communication. So if we calculate this communication based on this formula, n into n minus 1
Mm.
divided by 2, we will get the
Mm.
communication channels.
Okay.
Source of communication requirements. So what are the sources for communication requirement? Like stakeholder register, stakeholder engagement plan, then one-to-one or one-to-many. We have organization
Mm.
charts where we have a hierarchy of who is reporting to whom, like project manager, construction manager is reporting to project manager. Okay.
Mm.
Then quality manager, QAQC manager is also reporting to construction manager or project manager.
Mm.
So we have hierarchy, or we have in organization chart, we know where we are reporting to.
Okay.
Also we have information boundaries, like which information should be shared, which information is confidential.
Mm.
Then we have logistics, how many people and where they are located. So this is all part of the logistics. And characteristics like development approach, disciplines, departments, and specialities involved. So this is all sources of communication requirements.
Okay.
Communication technology, we are using social media, messaging apps, WhatsApp, emails. We have databases. We have social media, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, emails, websites. So
Mm.
these are all
Mm.
uses as a communication technology. This is all technologies where we communicate.
Yeah.
Choosing communication technology, how we should select and use communication technology based on what? Urgency of information.
Urgency. Mm.
How much urgent is that information? What is
Mm.
availability? What is the reliability? Ease of use,
Mm.
how easy we can use that particular technology. What is the
Yes.
environment there we are using? Let's say, for example, on Teams we can interact with each other face to face, face to
Mm.
face as a virtual,
Yeah.
right? And sensitivity and
Yes.
confidentiality also. Let's say, for example, if we are chatting on WhatsApp, one
Mm.
to one message, so it is just one to one. But if we are creating a group, it means we are communicating with 4 to 5 members.
Mm.
So this is also choosing, which particular communication technology we are using, and what is the confidentiality of that particular technology, what is the environment, how easy we can use that technology, and how easy it is available to us. Maybe some technology are used, maybe it is paid. Some technology are really available on different apps or different stores, app stores.
Mm.
It's freely available. So this is how we choose, our communication technology. Political
Mm.
awareness. We should also be political awareness. Help project managers plan communication based on the project and organization environment.
Mm.
So it helps the project managers to plan the communications and why what it is. Recognize formal and informal power relationship operates within existing organization structures. Understanding the organization strategies. Knowing who hold power and influence shapes how communications are planned, ensure engagement with the right people at the right time. This political awareness is within the project. Okay.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
think the other political awareness, of this is based on the politics in the project. Okay.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
will help the project manager, to plan the communications. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
Here in communication management plan, so the definition is a component of a portfolio program project management plan that explains how, when, and by whom project information will be managed and shared. It's called a communication management plan. Okay.
Okay.
In any project or in any program or any portfolio which plans how, when, and
Mm.
where to whom the information of the project should be shared. It's called a communication management plan. It describes how communications are planned, structured, implemented, monitored for effectiveness. This plan prevents random communications by setting clear rules and understanding. So it will help us to create certain rules, clear rules and responsibilities.
Okay.
Communication management plan also include the information flowcharts, the terminologies, the plan updates, resource
Mm.
allocations, methods of communication, where it is to be distributed, what is escalation procedures, and what is the stakeholder requirements, or what is the stakeholder communication requirements. So this is all part of the communication management plan, and
Mm.
that each and every section should be properly elaborated.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
What the plan defines: how, who, when, and what. How outline the method used for information delivery, such as email, meeting dashboard, reports, collaboration tools. And who should receive this information, right? And when, at
Yeah.
which particular time this information should be shared, and what
Mm.
type of information should be shared. So this is how we use the communication with these four essential parts: how, who, when, and what.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So effective communication is for the right people, which deliver right message and on the right time and through the right channel. It's called effective communication.
Mm. Okay. Right people, right message.
So we'll stop here. I will stop here for today
Okay.
because I want you to go back and
Mm.
study those slides, which we are
Okay.
here. Okay.
Mm.
And don't
Okay,
worry,
sir.
I think we are now 50 slides.
Yeah.
I think we are.
Almost, yes, almost we have completed. We
Yes.
have more than 2 weeks time now.
Yes. So we can complete that. Don't worry about that one. But I
Yes.
want to go a little bit slow, in order for you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
catch
yeah.
up with me.
That's correct, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. Thanks.
see you tomorrow. We can have another session tomorrow.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think we have tomorrow session, right?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have scheduled
Tomorrow, same time.
scheduled session for tomorrow.
Yes, 7 o'clock. Yes, sir.
Okay. See you. I have seen your
Okay, sir. Thank you.
MCQs and I will go through that one. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.